Hi there, welcome back. This is Tamara Carroll, and I'm your host tonight for Life with Lipedema, Loved, Valued, and Treasured. And I'm so glad that you're all here. Why don't you do something super fun? Let's drop in the comments where you're from, where you're joining us from. And I also want to invite you to, as we're going through the show tonight, if you have any questions for my guest, be sure and drop those in as well. And before we get going, I love to share an inspiration. And this particular inspiration was shared by Julie Stewart, and she's our tribe muse. And when you're a member of the Lipedema Simplified tribe, there's all sorts of really great ways that you can connect with people. And my dear friend Julie from North Carolina, she shares poems and letters of inspiration almost on the daily. So I captured this one last week, knowing what we were going to be discussing tonight. It says, I don't look like the woman in the magazines. I don't look like the woman in the magazines. Oh, but my darling, you're not supposed to. Those are two-dimensional snapshots in time, a work of art that has been practiced and posed and styled and edited over and over and over. Your hair is not supposed to look like theirs because it moves with you. It bounces with every step you take, and it tickles your child's shoulder as you kiss them goodnight, and it curls up on your pillow as you dream. Your skin isn't supposed to look like theirs because it has lived each day of your life with you. It has laughed until it's lined and cried until it's creased. Your clothes are not supposed to look like theirs because for a long time, yours have ridden with you. They are holding meetings and walking the dog and having lunch with friends. You're not supposed to look like the people of the magazines because you are not one. You are a living, breathing piece of art. I'd like to add a masterpiece. You wouldn't it be a shame if a two-dimensional image stopped you from living? If you took all the angles and the facets of what makes you, you, and wish that they were smoother or softer or still. If you sanded them down until they were indistinguishable, until you were no longer you. Because surely living is what we are all here to do. It's in the messy hair and the crumpled clothes or the wrinkled skin glory. I'll just add our bumps, our curves, and our bobbles. A pitcher can't hug a friend or walk a dog or laugh until it cries. A pitcher can't dream. And so isn't it that you don't look like other women in the magazines, my darling? It's that they don't look like you. And you know what? Maybe they wish they did. I love that. I may put that up on my wall. So tonight, I'm super excited to introduce you to a very dear friend of mine, and her name is Ashley Johnson. Hi, Ashley,
Hi.
welcome. And let me just read a little bit about her. Ashley owns and operates a size inclusive clothing boutique that specializes in helping women feel comfortable and confident in their fashion. She helps find flattering silhouettes for all body shapes and sizes. And when I read your bio today, when I was prepping, I thought, you're just being way too modest, Ashley. Has become my personal shopper and a good friend. She's friendly, she's welcoming, she's funny, she's kind, she's joyous, and you're encouraging. And I feel so blessed to be able to call you my in real life friend. And we still need to have that lunch date sometime.
Yes, we do.
So before we get started, I just want to share one of the experiences that I had with Ashley when I first moved here 2 years ago to North Carolina. And then I found out about lipedema about a year ago and was diagnosed with both lipedema and lymphedema. My my body image wasn't good. And I had been wearing a lot of darker colors, trying to make myself look thinner, a lot of black clothes. And I had just gotten into a rut. And as an artist, I love color. But I had really gotten away from wearing pretty clothes. And so I reached out. I don't even really know how I connected. I think it was a mutual friend. I think it was Tony. And I had reached out on Facebook and I said, does anybody sell Lullaroe? And did I say that right? I don't even know if I said it right.
No, but that's okay.
And so I was able to connect with you, and she lives close enough to me that she brought over a rack of clothes into my studio here. And I just tried on different clothes. And I had told her beforehand, push me out of my limit, because I wanted to try to wear clothes that I thought were super pretty, but I would not have picked up off the rack. And I'm not even one to like to go try on clothes. It's like my least favorite thing to do because of how they fit or they don't fit. And, you just kind of leave discouraged, and you're in those three-way mirrors, which
Yeah.
are just horrid. And, you're just like, wow, where did that bump come from, or that curve? But there was that moment though, where she helped me to see that I could wear these beautiful clothes and feel good about myself. And now my whole closet is full of um, your clothing line. I just love them so much. This dress, even that I'm wearing, and it's kind of bold and fun. But I want to go back to that one moment. She just really reached out to me and held my hand because I got really choked up. And I was feeling very emotional about my look and my body image. And she just held my hand and said, it's okay. You don't have to do it all at one time. We're just going to take baby steps. And I've learned through her to find my style, to find my confidence, and to just feel more encouraged about my body style. So I just want to thank you for that, Ashley, because that was just so special. And then you did come to my heart-to-heart gathering that we had with the Lipedema Simplified ladies, and got to know some of the ladies. And so, yeah, it's just been really special. So I'd like to just give you a little bit of time, if you don't mind, and just tell me a little bit about your story and share with the ladies, if you would.
Well, I totally did not expect to be a fashion anything. It kind of came out of nowhere. And then when I think back, it really didn't. I have a background, went to school for a long time and was a speech pathologist, or still am a speech pathologist, working with kids with autism most of the time. And some things happened in life that pop up that you don't expect. And it was one summer, or I always struggled with clothes. I have the body shape just like my grandmother. She was 5'1", and she had lots of curves. And I live in a family of skinny people. There's no other way to say it. But I have her genetics. And she gave me a lot of great things, besides some, not so pleasant, blessings in the chest area in fourth grade. So anyway, but she was a wonderful person, and she was my person. And so she loved to go shopping, but she never shopped for herself because she couldn't find anything that would fit. She was 5'1", and luckily she was a seamstress, so she could, if she took the time to, hem her pants and do certain things, but she really rather serve other people. And in her retirement, part of her life, she owned a consignment shop right down the street here. And I found out after she passed that she helped so many people. Men would come in looking for things to have a job interview, and she'd just hem their pants for free. And just helped with foster children and grandchildren. And just I learned a lot of stuff about her afterwards that I should have known ahead of time, but she would not be one to tell about herself. But anyway, she loved to shop, and she loved to shop for my mother, and so she and I we were a connection for sure, and so when some things happened in life, I talked to her about it, and um and then made some decisions, and then she passed away, and I was in a kind of crossroads with my career, and my husband said, "Well, actually," I said, "I went to a lady's house in her, not her attic, above her bonus room, and tried on clothes. And I walked out of there with like 8 pieces, which is highly unusual for me,
Me too.
because because I was normally would go to Belk, because we didn't have much here in New Bern, and most of the time I was stuck between the regular women's section and the plus size women's section. I liked some of the things in the regular section, and then when I moved over to the plus size section, they were all these little florals and just kind of older than I wanted to look.
Yeah.
And so I struggled, and I ordered a lot of things off of QVC that I didn't wear a lot of, and just trying to find something to wear to work. And so then I went to this lady's house and came out with like 8 pieces, and I came home, and my husband was like, "Where have you been? You were at some stranger's house?" And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "I found all these clothes." And he said, "Do they fit?" Because he knew I struggled. And I said, "Every single one of them." I couldn't believe it. And I said, "Other people need to know about this." And I said, "I think I would like to do this." And he said, "Well, Ashley, we've been married for 26 years." He said, "Anything you put your mind towards, you can do." And so I decided that I was going to sell LuLaRoe clothing as just like a side thing, because I felt like other people needed to know this brand, and I just a helper by nature anyway. And so my other contract with my speech fell through. Some other things happened, and decided to do this full time, and have thoroughly enjoyed it. I've been doing this for almost 8 years, actually 8 years this week, and it's still hard for me to believe. But when I got started, my grandmother had passed away, and she had left me just a little bit of money that we had put into savings. And I said, "I think I want to do this." And and my husband says, "Well, I think we should use your Grandma Lee money to do this." And so I used that money to buy my initial inventory. And I think about her every single day, because she would have loved to have opened the boxes that come and see all the things. And she would have sat in the recliner here in my spot. And I can hear her. I can hear her saying, "Ooh, I like this one," or "Try this one on," or "That's not going to work." So it has, even though she's gone, it has made me so much closer to her too. That's another part of this. I wouldn't call it a job, a passion, that is just with me from day to day. But LuLaRoe, that's how you say it, LuLaRoe, is a company that's been around for about 10 years, and it has independent retailers, and they are our wholesaler basically. We buy from them, and then sell it. So everything in my shop I own, and we do sizes extra extra small, and some kids clothing, to like a size 26 or 28. But our sizes are a little bit off, because they are a little bit more generous. So probably in terms of the real world, probably more of 30, 32, just depending upon the style. And some of the styles, I don't always carry. Some of the styles I would not recommend, but just being able to work with individuals and say, "Okay, I think this will work. This will work." And then if I don't have it in stock, there's an army or of a community, that we all work together, and we say, "Okay, I don't have this. Do you have it?" And they say, "Yeah, I'll ship it to your customer." So it really works well. And I
That's
love.
one of the things I've always appreciated is when you're doing your lives. And I'll be looking at a certain shirt or dress or something, and you say, well, you could size down on that. And
Yeah.
it
Well,
feels so
it's true.
good.
And then once I know somebody, and now I know Tamara, I can say this shirt's not for you.
Yeah.
And in fact, Tamara made a mistake the other day, and I said, I don't think this shirt's for you, but it was on sale, and she couldn't stand it. And she
I
said,
got you.
I'm gonna try it. And I thought, she's not gonna like it. And before I knew it, she was like, these shirts aren't gonna work. And I thought,
Yeah, I'll listen from now
But
on.
sometimes you just gotta learn yourself, and that's okay, you know.
So I just like to transition a little bit, thinking about the women who may be in a little plus size, or speaking to the ladies here in our lipedema community. I'm sure you've run across people who have a difficult time with self-image.
Oh,
And
yes.
yeah, and so in your experience, how is it that you're able to help? I mean, I shared a little bit about my story, but being able to transition and see ourselves beautiful, and just the size we are. Do you have anything to say
Well,
about that?
when you go into a store, just a regular department store, and you've got those mirrors and all the things, um, you really are going in blind. So
Mhm.
to have somebody that knows these styles of clothing, you can kind of steer around. This is gonna. I don't want anybody to hurt their own feelings, because that stinks. And lots of times you can do that to yourself. You think, oh, I think I can do this, and then it hurts your feelings, and you've done it to yourself, and you walk out defeated. But I think it helps when you work with somebody. Also here in my shop and on Facebook lives that I do, we are a no negative self-talk area. And in fact, I will get upset with you. And I haven't had to do that to you, Tamara, but I will say, hey now, we're not talking ugly about ourselves.
Mhm.
Your body works for you every day, and it does a good job, and we just need to dress it so you're happy. And it
Mhm.
doesn't really matter what size it is. It's more about the shape, and it's more about what
Mhm.
aspects of that garment will complement what
Mhm.
is best for you. And I mean, I'm going to use Tamara as an example. Tamara has narrower shoulders and so she is a totally different size on top than she is on bottom. And
Pre
um and
all
that
the babies.
that's what happens. And so you just need to it helps to know the clothes and to say, okay, let's steer away from this. These are the type of necklines that look great. Wide leg pants are better, because it just helps to know and to work with somebody,
Mhm.
especially if you're in a rut
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
you're having self-image issues. The other thing here in my shop is I don't have a mirror in the dressing room. It's outside the dressing room, and some people don't like that, but it's the way it is. And because I'm gonna ooh and ah, or I'm gonna say, mm-mm, that's not gonna work. Before you even get to the mirror, I'm gonna say that's not gonna work. Let's try this. And I
Mhm.
usually have something waiting in the wings.
Oh,
So
that's and then it builds confidence, right?
yes,
When you put
yeah,
something on and you say, "Oh, I
yes.
didn't know I could wear something like
That's
this."
right, and it helps to have someone's opinion,
Right.
because when you go into the dressing room at a department store, you're usually by yourself, and if you're like me, you go straight to the flaws, or
Mhm.
what you deem as the flaws, that other people may not even notice, but we
Mhm.
all have things that we wish were just a little bit different.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
Well, let's take a look at some of the pictures of some of the different styles of
Okay,
clothing, and maybe you can share a little bit on each one, and
okay,
what style would look for good for someone.
okay.
Oh, I
Um,
love this one, and I
yeah.
wasn't going to try this one on, and then you had me try it on, and I love
Yes, I did. This is the Leola, and all the LuLaRoe styles have names. You don't need to worry about that. People get hung up on the names, and I try to say Leola, the wide leg jumpsuit, and people get nervous because there's a waistline, and they think they don't have a waist, but it actually creates a waist. They also get nervous about a jumpsuit in terms of just using the restroom and being able to get it up and down. But actually, this one is super duper easy. It has pockets. And what's nice about this jumpsuit is it does create a waist, even if you think you don't have one. And then it layers nicely under sweaters and different kind of overlays. But it also has a wide leg, which makes the fabric pretty much just skim over any size leg that you have. Again, my grandmother graced me with some thighs, and that's okay. And I caught softball for 8 years, so so that works. It works for me. So I really like the Leola in terms of fabric, and that it's versatile, and that you can be casual or you could dress it up to go to any occasion, work wise or church or whatever fits your lifestyle. All right, this is the Joni, and a lot of times, in fact, Tamara has one coming to her. It's on my dining room chair, ready to go outside into my pickup box that I have on my front porch. But it has, I love 3/4 length sleeves if you're not so confident about your upper arms, because I'm not. So I love a 3/4 length sleeve that I can push up, and this one has elastic bands in the at the end of the sleeve, so that you can, if you're getting to work and you need to push your sleeves up, you can. It also is very flowy, and it kind of has a fit and flare feel to it. And that's what's great about some of our clothing, is that it fits you in the areas that you want it fit, but it skims and flows and flares over areas that you may not be so confident in.
And in the back, it has that little peekaboo. I know the picture didn't show it, but it's got like a little.
It's got a triangle, and we try to add some cute little details to even the back or the front, or it's just nice.
Okay, next one.
We do carry jeans, and the jeans are extremely stretchy. They're not jeggings. They're an actual denim, and they have 5% lycra in them. And they also have a magic waistband, is what we call it, that provides tons of stretch. And then the actual denim itself is extremely stretchy because of that lycra in it. And so they're totally different than other jeans. This is my friend Stacy. She's a farmer. And so all the women in the pictures I know. This is Stacy. She has on these jeans. And she is not crazy. She loves her upper half of her body, but not her lower half. And so that's why I wanted to show that she is mighty confident to have on a bodysuit underneath that blazer that she has on, and then the jeans. But they are extremely stretchy. She's normally a 3X, but she wears the jeans all the time.
I think I need to try those. And then
this is Amber. Amber is also a 3X, and she has on an Eden top. Now, what I love again about the Eden top is that it's a fit and flare kind of thing. It also has 3/4 length sleeves, and then it has a V-neck. And a lot of people get nervous about a V-neck, but actually, when you have a more open neckline, it draws your eye up, kind of like Tamara has on with that dress. I mean, it's not necessarily a V-neck dress, but it's a button-up dress. So it has it creates a V, and then it just draws your eye up. And this fabric is very stretchy, and there's lots of designs and lots of solids, and it's relatively inexpensive at $36 compared to other prices that are out there right now.
I have one of those shirts. I wear it. It matches my plum sweater that I bought from her.
Cool. The Aurora is a dramatic kind of overlay, and some of our stuff is sized differently. So an extra large would be sizes 20 to 26 or 28, and we often have extra room in the arms if needed, and then a lot of the time our fabrics are extremely stretchy, so you don't have to worry about that. But it also is a type of piece that you could add to a little black dress and totally change it, and I love that about it because it's dramatic and it's kind of artsy and just fun. So you can introduce some colors and bold prints without having to invest too much, especially with like a neutral base. And then we carry leggings, but I was talking with Tamara. I know ladies with lipedema often use compression leggings. These are definitely not a compression material. They're just a soft, luxurious kind of fun thing to wear around the house to give yourself a break from those compression leggings. But we run sizes 0 to 26, and they're super duper soft. And often we have styles of other clothing that are in this material, which people love. In fact, there's a poncho that Tamara has that's made out of our leggings material. And it's called the Shelby, and you have to wear something underneath it, but it's very flattering, easy to wear, and can also introduce color and some vibrancy into your life.
I wore that actually to our heart-to-heart gathering. It's one of my favorites. And now that we're back in the fall weather, I'm excited to wear it again because it's a little heavier.
Oh yeah, because you could wear a long sleeve shirt. Yeah, just a long sleeve shirt underneath that thing, and you're in good shape. And a lot of the time, it wasn't used to be like this, but now a lot of our colors coordinate, and they work well together. And then once I know you, then it's so much easier to say, okay, this is going to work. This size will work, and kind of jump off from there.
Well, good. Thank you for sharing. And I know that gives the ladies all a great ideas and things to look for. And how can they find you on Facebook? I know that
I think the link was in the chat. If not, it's going to be. But I want to encourage you to join my private, if you're on Facebook, my private Facebook community. It's a group of women that has culminated in 8 years. Some people come and go. Some people have been here the whole 8 years. We don't just do fashion. We have a prayer list on Sundays. Lately, we've been talking recipes. Little things happen, funny things get posted. We do Wordle, we do connections. It's just something. It actually was life-saving almost for me during COVID because all my friends were gone, and then I had this wonderful group of an online community, and I've never met
from all over.
Yes.
From North Carolina.
Yeah, they're not. I've never met them, but I feel like they're my best friends, and we talk and chat every day, and check on each other. And then I watch the people become friends with each other, and I see them commenting on things and them developing relationships, and it's just so nice. It just makes me so proud that we've built this web almost of women helping women.
And everybody's very encouraging.
Oh yes. Well, I would not handle anyway. So I usually have a pretty consistent schedule. We meet usually on Tuesdays around 7 or 8. I post events just like this one was posted in Facebook. And then usually Tuesdays and Thursdays, Sunday afternoon, evening, like at 5 o'clock, all Eastern Standard Time. And in fact, tonight I am going live at 8 after this, and anyone is welcome to join in with us just to see how it is. We're doing sweaters. The sweater that I have on, which Tamara needs to get one because I think she would absolutely love it. And then it's on the list. And then another sweater that's one size fits all. That's kind of like a sweater / cape / blanket that you can style multiple ways and get creative. But we're doing that tonight at 8. If anybody would like to join, all you have to do is click the link and leave your email address in one of the questions, and then I'll accept you into the group, and you should be able to see it. And if you want me to add you to our text list, then I'm more than willing to do that too. But if anybody wants to join the group, no pressure by any means, but wants some one-on-one consultation through FaceTime or some private means, then I am more than willing to do that.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing all of that. Before we leave, I always like to ask, looking at my words, loved, valued, and treasured, which one resonates with you the most tonight?
I have a hard time with this. I can see something in all of it. I really need to value my body more and what it does for me every day, and that it birthed 2 boys that are fantastic. And even though it has changed and I don't always like it, I need to clear my head and appreciate it more for what it does.
And then using then the word valued, how could you encourage the ladies tonight about being valued or valuing themselves?
Well, mhm. I think you have to just stay in that positive mindset, because once you go negative, it's hard to go back. So I think you just have to value, just put your body and your mindset in an area of positivity, rather than the easier route. Because I think negativity is a much easier route sometimes for people than staying positive. And it kind of spreads to the way you look at everything then too. So
Well, thank you. That's great. And before we go, Ashley, I want to say thank you, really, for just being my friend and speaking truth and life into me. And I want you to know that you are loved, valued, and
well,
treasured.
thank you. And the same right back at you. So yes, very much so. And I am proud of you. I'm proud of you for stepping out of your comfort zone. I'm proud of you for taking on this challenge of being a spokesperson for a situation that you only found out about a year ago. And I think that takes some guts.
Oh,
So I'm proud of you.
thank you. I appreciate that. I would like to share just briefly before we go, we have a free webinar that's coming up that you don't want to miss. This is a free webinar that Lipedema Simplified is offering. It's called Supporting Detox for Lipedema Management and Weight Loss. And it's going to be this Thursday, October 24th at 7 p.m. EST. And so even if you can't make it for some reason, register for it because they're going to send you back the replay, and just come and join the conversation. I registered. I can't wait to hear about it. I'm all about the holistic ways of healing and gosh, lipedema management and weight loss and detoxing. That's just a great opportunity. So don't miss it. The link for the free webinar is below. I'm sure it'll be in the chat as well. We didn't really have very much time for questions for Ashley, but if you have any questions for her, please drop them into the chat, and I know she'll get back to you soon. So to my beautiful lipedema sisters, I just want to say that you are loved, you are valued, and you are treasured. And I will see you next week. We have a member of our tribe, Blanche Pepitone, and she's going to be joining us. And I've had a heart connection with her ever since I met her online. And I like to hear from our tribe members. I think that we are iron sharpens iron, and we can learn so much from each other. So please join us back again next week. And Ashley, thanks again for everything.
Thank you all.
Bye.